Good evening once again. M.M Out here, over there, everywhere, all over the place. And it's so customary now. The Apostle William Royce Canterbury.
Yes, sir.
You contested the last two general elections, and God's willing, will contest the very next one in the constituency of St. Peter. Apostle, I want to say, M.M Out There is listened to by a variety and category of people.
I'm beginning to realize that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say hi to, you're a musician.
Yes, sir.
But I'm going to say hi to some guys who play music.
Okay.
And who watch M.M Out There. First of all, to the granddaddy of them all, Pitt Graves.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Pitt Graves. And I understand that his wife is a member of your congregation too.
Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
he told me that.
That's correct.
Yes, he told me that.
That's correct.
Okay. Yes. Also, DJ Chili. Radar Sound Systems.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes. DJ Puss. So you see, we have a lot of different categories of viewers who watch M.M Out There.
Awesome.
So I said salute to those four great DJs. Apostle.
Yes, sir.
This week, a leading environmental organization released a paper, and it was endorsed by 11,000 scientists who said that if the actions of the entire world are not curbed as far as environmental conditions are concerned, practices that they're doing, the world is heading for a very disastrous end and lots of human suffering.
Okay.
They have recommended one or two things, among them leaving the carbon in the ground. Stop cutting down trees and stop covering the trees.
Right.
Also, less meat eating. Because if you're eating less meat, you're not going to be growing that much cows and that sort of thing. So what do you think of that? In fact, no, 1 second. This is the 40th anniversary of the same group who made this same warning in 1979.
Wow.
Yes, 40 years since that group made this warning. And what we have seen, a very well crafted idea by President Obama, being dismantled by Donald Trump, who actually withdrew from the organization and tore up Mr. Obama's paper. Yes. The chief architect of Obama's paper, a lady, she has just been appointed head of this same organization. They have sued the American government 96 times. 56 cases have been called so far, and they have won 54. This is against the Trump administration in regards to environmental practices that they're doing. Imagine that. They've sued them 96 times. 56 cases have been called, and they have won 54.
Wow.
So what's your take on that whole thing I just said?
Well, you know, there's always a big problem in terms of, you know, the level of the carbon footprint that is being left here in our nations, and not just in our nation, but on the planet itself. Okay. Again, there are higher laws, and then there are lower laws, and when those higher laws are broken, then there's nothing left but to have those lower laws broken as well. Now, one of the things when I did my own research on global warming and those things, one of the things that we have to take into consideration is that our entire galaxy is moving. Okay, We're moving through space at probably 70,000 kilometers an hour. At least that's what they say. Okay? So our entire galaxy is not only spinning, it is moving. Okay? So we're experiencing these things as our galaxy goes into warmer parts of the universe. So what is happening in our planet is not necessarily just due to what human beings are doing. It is also happening on a galactical level. Okay? Because once the galaxy is in the warmer area of the universe, then it affects all planetary systems within that galaxy. Okay? Now, the other thing that I want to say is that with our planet, human beings must do more to make sure that we preserve it for future generations. And that's not what is being done. Something has to be done about that. I think former President Obama has done a fantastic job in working, and I think I was listening to
But what he did has been dismantled.
Yeah, but here's one of the statements that he made. He said, when we are looking for ideas to bring to the table, he says, when you go into rooms, many of the leaders and many of the individuals in charge are in those rooms when we are looking for ideas. When we are looking to implement things, many of those same persons are going against what's happening. So within the framework of the whole issue of global warming, climate change, lessening the carbon footprint, there are too many people who are in positions that are blocking the way forward to make things better. And that's why I said I believe President Obama has done a really good job, because he's encouraged, he's incited a lot of individuals to actually get going. And I think now is the time for even Barbados to begin to look at what we're doing even to our country, because I don't believe that we're doing enough to preserve Barbados as a country for our future generations.
I totally agree with that. And if you look at Brazil with the Amazon,
Yeah.
they were showing an improvement till the president took over.
Right.
Since he took over, there has been a decrease.
Right. And I've always said on this show that what a lot of people don't understand is when you elect a leader, you elect a mind. And you will not get anything more than what that mind has determined it will do. And so a lot of individuals, when we look at leaders of nations, we're not understanding, Castro was a communist, okay, we understand that. Stalin was a communist, we understand those systems. When you have people who are left-wing, right-wing, who are pros, and against this and against the next, when we have individuals leading that I said are of population one level, you cannot get anything better. You are not going to get any advancement. In order to have advancement, you need a leader that is proactive and productive.
But productive meaning very important.
Yes, proactive and productive. Okay? And then the third thing that I always say, proactive, productive, and conductive.
Mm-hmm. You hear the apostle? Go ahead.
Well, so those are the three things, because when you're proactive, you will move correctly. When you're productive, you will produce more. When you're conductive, you'll get more passing through you, and you'll become electronic.
So repeat what the apostle said. When you're proactive,
you move correctly.
When you're productive, you produce more.
You produce more.
And when you're conductive,
it more
flows.
passes through you. More
it flows.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
You always learn something when the apostles on the show. We never fail. I was looking back through history.
Yes, sir.
And I remember the year 1979. I'm always accused in the U.S. of doing these things, of anything that's evil. I firmly believe that they're responsible for.
1979.
Now, 1979,
Yeah.
we saw a lot of people who we call tyrants being overthrown.
Mm-hmm.
These people were mostly installed by the Americans and they were overthrown by the Americans. In Iran, you had the Shah of Iran going down.
Iran Shah, yeah.
You had Anastasia Somoza going down in Nicaragua. You had Idi Amin going down in Uganda. You had President Marcos going down the Philippines.
Right.
All of those can be tied together with the United States. All of them. Why I said that is because the president of Brazil is tied together with Donald Trump. Donald Trump is against anything environmental. And since this president of Brazil got tied together with him, he has been going in that direction and is mainly responsible for the burning of the Amazon. He doesn't have to do it himself. It's his speeches that can influence people to do it. And they're actually trying to, like how Donald Trump should be impeached, they're working on something for him.
Okay.
Because previous presidents in that region have been to prison for that same thing. Yeah. And I very much hope that that happens to him. Because they don't seem to take this thing very, very serious.
Right.
They're destroying the environment. And I was very impressed when I read that paper.
Oh.
They actually were trying to have everything fine by 2025. But they realized they can't. They're not getting the cooperation from places like China and those sort of places.
Well, again, Mr. Morris, what you're realizing about the world as it relates to world leadership is that many of them are leaning towards economic politics. In other words, we're looking at how rich our country can. When you look right now at the consciousness of political leadership, it's who's the richest. Kim Jong-un, President Trump, President Putin, who's the richest? Most governments and most leaders around the world are moving towards that. There is a fight for economic supremacy among leadership in nations, and they don't care what they do to get that status, even if it means running over their own people.
Not even if it means they do run over their own people.
Or destroy their own
people. They destroy their own people. Reminds me of a little thing that someone sent me with Gearbox. I won't repeat the language on this show, but he gives a little scenario where he says that these rulers set themselves to destroy the people, and in the same process, destroy their own selves. I have to say that clip. Yeah. You might not appreciate the language though.
Well, and I'll share something with you about, or in our second segment, something that my dad shared with me that I think is very important for Barbadians to know about, because
this concerns the environment as well?
And of course it concerns the environment here in Barbados, and it also concerns moving our people forward.
Yeah.
So these are a lot of things that I believe are necessary, and our people must come to that level of understanding. Again, and you know what we usually say at the end of every one of our sessions here.
I'll get right into it because the time is running out.
Yes, sir.
Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson. That's right.
When the people fear the government, there is tyranny. But when the government fears the people, there is liberty or freedom. And with that, that's the end of part 1. M.M Out There, over there, everywhere, all over the place. We shall return very shortly with part 2. Let's make our exit.
Yes, sir.